See, we can go live. I don't know. There we are. There we are. Hello, beautiful people out there, wherever you are. Whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, midday, you don't know. You just woke up. You're just going to bed, whatever. And a happy Eve of Hallows, right? I'm hoping that your uh, Halloween isn't just hollow. I'm hoping you're having a good time, enjoying yourself, enjoying your family, enjoying your friends, enjoying the festivities, whether you call it Samhain, All Saints Day, celebrating, different Day of the Dead festivities, harvest, Hallelujah night, trunk or treat, however you work it. Uh, Hoping that you are having a great time. Let's see. Let me get to the live chat here. Okay, there we go. We can see everybody now. Rhonda, how are you doing? Rife, how are you? Bellany, good to see you. Welcome to the live chat. Welcome to my platform. This is the Conjure Cafe on the show known as, or on the platform known as, the Conjure Chronicles. And I am Cosmic Nawaji. I've been doing this for a little bit. I've been doing it for a couple of decades now. Not YouTube, but as a spiritual practitioner of the African diaspora, spiritual technology, we know it as hoodoo, root work, conjure, those kinds of things, right? So I wanted to welcome everybody on. Let's see who we have here. If you are new, please let me know. Let me know how you heard about me. I mean, I'm not like, Instagram famous or YouTube famous. So you had to hear about me from somebody, which is a good thing. It's a good thing, right? That means that my good reputation precedes me. Okay, that means that somebody thought enough of you and enough of me to connect us together. So tell them I said hello, whoever they are, and let me know who they are, so I can tell them thank you myself. Uh, so this is the Egyptian Black Goat. Hey, you're over there on Instagram. If you're not familiar, that I'm on Instagram. I am. I had another account about like last year, earlier this year, whatever. I got fed up with it. I don't know. There was something going on with Instagram. People, I don't know. I guess they bought my account or whatever, and I looked up, and now I'm following 200 more people, and then there's 400 more people, and then there's 7,000 more people. Like, wait, I don't follow these kinds of people. If it's not about plant-based eating, if it's not about spirituality, if it's not about any type of pro-black situation, um, or the occult, I'm probably not following you, right? So I'm looking at people popping up from Ireland and from Brazil and from uh, Korean speaking Russian. I'm like, I don't follow these people talking about sunglasses and stuff like that. I don't know. So I guess they said I was up for sale. That we got past that, but once again, black man's on the block being sold. So I said, okay, y'all can have that account, and start up a new account, which is my current one, which is simply Cosmic. I try to keep it really, very simple. KHOZMIQ on Instagram. If you want to go ahead there and follow me, you can. I greatly appreciate it. I'm still trying to learn Instagram. My friend, brother Moses, or Hoodoo Moses, has really been trying to engage me on Instagram and told me kind of the tips and tricks and what to do and how to do things. So I'm trying to become versatile and savvy on Instagram. So bear with my ignorance on that one. But how are y'all doing? What's going on in your neck of the woods? I don't know, where you are in the world. If you guys are also having some type of celebration or festivities alongside Halloween. Um, Let me know what you guys got going on. I mean, over on this side, it's raining, it's windy. It's not really trick or treating weather, which is kind of good for me because I didn't really buy a lot of candy, so I can eat it all for myself, right? So you come an adult, you buy the candy for you. You don't buy it for nobody else. So uh, I went and did some activities earlier today, and with with a friend of mine and her kids, and things like that. So it was that was interesting. That was fun to kind of go ahead and get that out of the way for the day. And then My godson's back in town. He was, where was he? Where was he at? I think he was in Texas. I think he was in Texas. No, he was in Texas or wherever he was, doing some training for the military. He's in the armed forces, and so I kind of took over his casework in the meantime. He's recently back, but then he's moving, so he's in the process of moving. So I'm kind of maintaining his spiritual works or whatever in the process. So I've kind of been working on that, plus my own work, plus my own stuff, plus everything else. So that's that. Yesterday we had a great time with my apprentices. It was their last class of the year. Had a tremendous blast. We were up for a couple of hours, just tying up loose ends and preparing for next year, quizzing them, making sure that they can demonstrate and they have proficiency in all that we've talked about. So that was wonderful. Many of them will graduate next year, and then I'll have some slots available to try this again. Can you contact? Well, you just contacted me, didn't you? You just this you did it for me. You contacted me. But let me say this, as a policy, I do not do like out calls and things like that. That's not my custom. That's not how I work. If you feel led to me, then feel all the way led to me, right? Find some way to contact me and I can reach out from there. But as far as going out and those kinds of things, especially if you're not an in-person client, no, I don't do those kinds of things. That's that. But you can definitely reach out to me, cosmic.com. If you can find me on YouTube, you can definitely find me online. Just literally type in Cosmic. I'm the only Cosmic on the planet. I'm Googleable. Literally, I'm Googleable. I don't know if that means I'm famous or I'm unique or whatever, but you just type in KHOZMIQ. All my stuff comes up. Nothing to hide. So you can go to my website. The initial page says contact me. You can do so. Click that link. It'll take you right to where you can submit some correspondence to my online office. We can interact from there. I am frequent on Facebook, right, through my business page, Dr. Cosmic Nawaji. There, like I mentioned before, I'm on Instagram at Cosmic. So reachable that I am. All right, so Rhonda gets a little teary-eyed face. Renee says hello. What's going on, King? Rob, peace. Okay, Solomon. All right. I know who that is. Yeah, the Instagram is really odd like that. And just chilling, actually doing something different, not really up on the trick-or-treating. I'm with you on that one. I'm glad I got my things settled earlier today. Maybe when you get a little bit older, you view the world differently. You start seeing any excuse to work on yourself and to rest yourself. So whether it's Halloween or whatever, right? You just find an excuse to really work on you. So putting in that grind, right? Because the grind don't sleep. The grind don't trick or treat, right? The grind don't get fat on at Thanksgiving. The grind definitely don't be getting gifts from whomever under a tree. So you got to grind. I need you to teach me some more things, Doc. If you're willing, do you teach in person or only online? I teach in person. I'm a real individual. I'm flesh and blood. Might not be the best looking flesh and blood, but I'm flesh and blood. I'm here. I do teach in person. I used to do local classes at one point in time. That kind of got conflicted with my schedule, whatever. But I'm very, very relevant in my community. And just ask about me. Go to any kind of spiritual shop in the city of Columbia. Drop my name. They can say, yes, I've heard of him. I heard. If they don't know any of the good things I've done, They definitely can't say anything bad about me, right? Unless they just being shady. But I don't know any of them that are that shady for me. Um, Man, I just did a live on Instagram. If you guys have not checked that live, I don't know if it's still up. I do have it downloaded. I'm going to put it up on a couple of different platforms, Patreon included, as an archive. But I had the esteemed pleasure to take you guys along with me to see Pop, as we call him affectionately here in the city, he's an 89-year-old root doctor. He's been doing this at least, well, I put it like this. We don't know how long he's been doing it, but he has had that store at that location for going on 20 years now, about 19, 20 years now. A lot of people do not know this about Pop. He's very, he's the epitome of older black grind consciousness, in quiet, in silence, very, very humble. You won't be able to look at him and tell he doesn't have all the accoutrements of wealth, but, got 4 and 5 businesses, got a couple of houses, does not mind doing manual labor, still very active, right? All those kinds of things. But even further, Eye of the Cat, which is his business, his spiritual business. Not only is he referenced to, he has a whole article in the famous book Spiritual Merchants. If you've done your hoodoo research on hoodoo and history, then of course you come across that book called Spiritual Merchants. He's also interviewed in that book by name. They go in there, they interview him, they look at the shop, all of that stuff from all those years ago. That's the very same man, flesh and blood. Furthermore, he has been honored by the National Smithsonian Institute for what he does and who he is, and just holding the culture as in place as a standard bearer of the culture. So being able there, I've been there a couple of times, but I said this time I'm going to take you guys along with me so you can see face to face, eyeball to eyeball, if we say toe to toe, what the elders look like. They are still yet here. This idea they've gone somewhere or you cannot find them. You're not looking for them, and you're not looking for them in the right places, but they're still there. And if they're not there, it's either because they have died or the community has not been supportive of them. Right? So I often showcase businesses that are upholding, maintaining, sustaining that part of our history, that part of our legacy, our lineage. I was telling somebody earlier today, somebody had told them some kind of, I can't really say it word for word, but basically, they weren't quite sure about me or whatever. They were asking somebody else about me or whatever, which is perfectly fine, perfectly fine. And so they're just letting, putting me on game, letting me know, people are asking about you to a certain person, so I don't know if they know you, you know them, or y'all got something going on, whatever, but I let you know what's up, as any upstanding, noble person would do, which is perfectly fine. The scriptures tell us to search the scriptures daily to see if what was said is true. So by all means, fact check me. By all means, even in Paula, there's something where you got to call your lineage out. Who is you and who is your people? That's what we did down in the South. We didn't ask for your monons. We asked who is you and who is your people. Same thing here. And so I see, I've made no secret about who I am, where I come from, where my roots are, where I learned from, what I've learned, what I know, what I don't know. I have shown you guys in pure living color who my elders are. I've called them by name. I brought them on camera. You guys have seen Pop the other day. You guys have seen me do work with Dr. Keone. You've seen me do, I've showcased Miss Victoria, and on and on and on and on. These are people who I look up to, who have been elders in my life, okay, who've taught me certain things throughout the years. And I honor them. So I definitely have lineage available to be researched, to be fact checked. You can go to 7 Rays right now, 3701 North Main Street, Columbia, South Carolina, 29203. Call them at 803-404-4519. I mean, I'm just, that's just the honest to God truth. And they can tell you, before anybody knew me on the internet, okay, Miss Victoria her daughter, her store, her clientele, her customer base, knew about me, right? And that was just me coming into Colombia. Okay. So it's well documented out there, and I encourage this is also why I can give the challenge to people who are emerging workers, and you make these claims of having this deep heritage or this strong kind of claim to fame or whatever based upon your spiritual lineage, but then you cannot produce such lineage, right? And so there's trend of having the mysterious untrackable ancestry or the mysterious untrackable lineage. You just kind of emerge from the vapors, this fully, lock, stock, and barrel uh spiritualist. We don't know who you are. We don't know where you come from. We don't know who your peoples are. We don't know who knows you. I tell it to my students all the time. One of them is here that she can vouch for this. I always tell them, work within your own community first before you think about trying to branch out on online, because those are going to be your bread and butter at the end of the day, number one. And number two, if it don't work for them, how's it going for anybody else? Right? So I said all of that to talk about Pop Thomas. As some of you may know him, depending upon how you know him or whatever. Nick, okay, depending upon, again, where you know him from. It was an incredible experience. I could not record all of it because some of it got very, very personal for me. I didn't show this on the video. This was after I cut the video off, but he laid hands upon my hands and transferred, anointed my hands with an oil that he had, and just kind of transferred the mantle there. And that was a very powerful experience for me. I wasn't expecting that. He and I don't have a very, epic relationship. I know who he is, he knows who I am. We've talked together, whatever. We've shared some things, but I was definitely not expecting that. Did a reading for me right there on the spot. It was very. I think I was there for about 2 hours. My intention was to go in, pick up some candles, showcase his store, and then head on to get something to eat because I was hungry at the time. And but you know how elders are. The older folks are. They not gonna let you just come in, dip in, and dip out. They're gonna learn you something. So that was a beautiful experience to have. I want to also challenge you, if you have elders in your family, in your community, support them. Go see about them. Make sure they're well taken care of. If they have businesses, if they have enterprises, do what you can to support that, to expand that, to finance that if all possible. Always hungry. Well, you could always eat. I mean, I could always eat. So I'm not going to turn down that. But definitely do that. Definitely do that, because what you sow, you're going to reap in that regard. And if you sow sparingly, you're going to reap sparingly. If you sow bountifully, you'll reap bountifully. He that sows to the flesh, shall the flesh reap corruption. But if you sow to the spirit, you will have great life. So a lot of the spiritual shops are out of business. They're out of business because of this, right? And someone asked me on that Instagram live, because he's old school, so you're not gonna come in there with a check. You're not gonna come in there with a debit card, credit card. You're definitely not gonna come in there with no damn cash app card. He's not gonna do any of that. You gotta come in there with cash. He doesn't have a website. I think Pop may have a review on yellowpages.com. Maybe. Okay. That's it. If you aren't familiar with the area, if you don't know him, if you don't know Columbia, if you're new or whatever, never heard of this kind of thing, you will pass by his shop, I mean, day in. It's not like Victoria's, where it's very, the energy screams at you. It's right in the corner of Main Street. You cannot miss it. You have to stop at a stoplight. You cannot miss it. Very big, ceiling to floor windows, panels, etc. Pop Shop is very in the cut, and I need to get this computer worked on. And if you don't know, you'll pass by it. You'll pass by. You'll pass by it. I'm there been days I was looking for it and couldn't find it. He got that thing cloaked down. Okay, so he was showing me a news article. He has a century plant that normally takes a century to really start to sprout and grow, and that thing is massive. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. That thing, when I tell you it's massive, I mean that thing is huge. That thing is huge. If you think about your average aloe vera plant, if that thing existed in prehistoric times, would be close to its size. That thing is huge. And in the article, they were trying to ask him, like what's the secret? Like, what do you do to this plant? I mean, this plant grows so. I mean, this thing is an eye catcher. Like, what are you doing? And of course, as any old hoodoo worker, he gave him a little rouse, a little dazzle. He didn't give them no secrets. As the men were joking about that, and he said, if I give you a secret, then both of us gonna know, right? He said, they're not gonna be a secret no more. So you just think about that. I mean, man can make a century plant spring up like that to that scale. I mean, if you're ever in Colombia, go down there and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That thing is huge. You really can't miss it. It's humongous. But enough of that. Let's see what we got talking about in the comments here. Yeah, I know it's you, Walter. I know you in Allendale. All right. Well, if you are led to learn from me, then God bless you. We'll see what the Spirit says. Right now, I'm not taking on any new apprentices. They are a handful all by themselves, y'all. This lot that I got is something else. It's something serious, okay? But it's a good thing. I'm not anyway complaining. They're just it's a lot, okay? So when they finally hit the scene, y'all watch out. They're really going to be moving and shaking and quaking some things up. And it is, as I mentioned before, my endeavor to have them working in the local area. So if you can't get here, people think, oh, I gotta go see Doc. I gotta go see Doc. I gotta go down to Columbia. I can spend all this money. Well, that's nice. I thank for the sentiment. But if you are a good teacher and you are anointed to do what you do, whatever it is that you do, teaching or otherwise, whatever, right? The anointing is tangible. And because it is tangible, it is therefore transferable, right? If I can impart into you to do what I do, right? Maybe not gonna do as good as I do it right off the bat. Maybe there's a level of skill that I have. I'm doing it for a while, whatever. All those things aside, but if I cannot impart to you that anointing, that ability to do what I do, then what the hell is the point? Why waste time? Why waste money? Why waste effort? Why waste, your equity in this? Okay. So if and this is for any field that you want to go to be taught in, trained in, it is it's on Rosewood Drive. I have it on my Instagram. It's on Rosewood Drive. Just search for Eye of the Cat. He told me the story. He said this preacher woman came to him and she had a man she was dealing with, and so the man kind of sent word by her to ask him, what does Eye of the Cat mean? Now, Pop is a seer. All right. Pop is a very good reader. He reads you on the spot. And which is what got him in the Smithsonian recognition, by the way, and in the book. He knew that the guy that she was seeing, I guess it was with another woman or had a wife and kids or something like that, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so he says to her, well, you tell him, the eye of the cat means that I can see farther than you can. And he said, I'm trying to let him know nicely, I see your business. I'm not trying to be aggressive, but I see your business, right? But it's called Eye of the Cat, right there on road. So just kind of, you should probably be able to Google it. I'm sure somebody's written something about it. It's, if you've got the book, Spiritual Merchants, I think the address is still in this exact same place. you can find it there. And I just want to um, show y'all something here. I was making this point to my team a couple of months ago about, we were talking about candle workings and candle spells and things like that, and candle. I was saying that the candles today are nowhere near as potent, as large, and just as well made as they were, you know, 10, 20, about 20 years ago and earlier, 20, 30 years ago. It has definitely decreased and degraded in quality. Okay. So I just want to kind of show you guys. Since I went to Pop Shop, I picked up a couple of candles there. I'm going to show you kind of a size comparison. All right. So I got 4 candles. So the first one, this is a Amor Vietnamese, Ariel Camino, a Lich Hummingbird, Chuparosa candle. These things you can see, I can really get it in the whole shot. That's how big these things are. Okay, these are huge. You look at, these are huge. Okay, I was poking holes in them a little bit earlier. These things are big. I'm gonna weigh it just to kind of give you, because it doesn't have here the ounces, but that's going back about 20 years, right? The candles from Pop Shop are about, many of them are about 19 years old. Okay, so they're old school. They're very, very old school. I mean, literally, when you walk into Pop Shops, like you took a step into 20 years ago. I mean, really, it's like you just stepped into a whole nother world, a whole nother time zone. Then we've got, this one is a little bit smaller, but still comparable. All right, still big. This is a little bit shorter. All right, but it is so big you can, which they used to do. This is really gonna blow some people's minds. So people think about, putting holes in the candles today, right? And this idea of putting holes in the candle, putting your powders in there, putting your oils in there, right? And the real idea behind that doesn't really drive the point home when you're looking at modern candles. Okay, when you look at the older candles, it makes perfect sense why they did this, because they had the space to do it. So you look at this candle, which I did bore a hole in, just so you can see for reference. All right, so I can take a little name paper, right, oil it down or whatever, or petition paper, all right, and you place it in the candle, which is what some of them did back in the old days. All right, this is about the size of my pinky, just about. Okay, and you see a lot of space in there. This one, let's see, side by side. Child, you can't even see my face. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. All right, so yeah, so you look at them. This is definitely bigger. This one is still big. This one's the biggest. You have this one right here. All right, coming as again, I'm working down the years. Okay, so we're looking at about 20 years ago. That one was about 15 years ago. All right, looking at about 10 years ago. This is St. Michael. All right, so it's considerably smaller, but definitely larger than the ones you still have today. All right, so people talk about 7-day candles. All right, what they originally were called novenas. Nova meaning 9. They would burn for 9 days easy. Nowadays, you'd be lucky to get 5 out of them. Okay, they have changed. They've made cheaper wax, smaller candles. Everybody's trying to go. They're trying to make everything cheaper. and in so doing, you're trying to pump out so much quantity, you're losing out on quality, right? But again, if you don't know that, if you don't have a history to look back on, you would think, oh, these how candles always been. No, 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 no. And so when you look at, so what's interesting is that when you look at older books, okay, or older accounts of how they did, let's say, for example, candle working, and you look at the candles, yeah, that's what a lot of people have these, like, how am I going to do this, right? And they think that the books are leaving something out, and in some cases they are, but the vast majority of the stuff they had back then are either not the same, we don't have them at all, or not the same quality they had back then. Okay, so for example, you think I'm not putting no paper in a can, that's gonna be a fire hazard. It's gonna be a fire hazard regardless. But if you got a very small candle, oh hell yeah, it's like you should be burning a new wick. But if you got a candle this size, you can burrow a hole to the side of it in thicker glass. You see. All right, so you got this one. This one about for about 10 years ago. This is Saint Michael. All right. Still, you're 8 inch, but a lot thicker, a lot wider. There's more wax in here. More wax is in here. And then of course you have the modern day, which are these. So we've gone in 20 years, or thereabout, from this to this. It's like your ex-boyfriend or your new man. I'm joking. That's a joke. That's a joke. I couldn't resist. All right. So that's what happened. You know. Think about it. Literally. This one can literally fit in there. So let that speak for itself. I should just tell you. So I'm gonna be working these and talking about working on these, and because you really can't get those as much these days. Not the first kind I showed you. They're almost like antiques. Like you'd be very hard pressed to find those kinds of accounts. But I will. Let me see if I can search right quick on my computer for the address. Yeah, so I wanted to just wanted to bring that point up. And there's a lot of other stuff. He got more than just candles in there, but he's got about a whole house full of candles, y'all. I'm talking about from floor up. I mean, shelves upon shelves, boxes upon boxes of these very large old school candles. I tell you, it's like you sipping a blast from the past. He's got another aisle or two or three or just oils. He's got another aisle on old-fashioned incense. He's got another aisle, I think, on like the floor wash bath formulas. Right, the older botanic, exactly. Those older styles have them. Right, the newer candles are small, and they cut exactly. They are less potent. They last not as long, and they're smaller in size. They've just kind of been dwarfed altogether. When you look, let's say, at Mexico, all right, they still keep their size. You'll find, the Mexican, if you go down to Mexico, okay, then they have candles this size. And they've got the ones that have the paper labels on them, right? They call them I think they call them aromatica velas or something like that. Something to that. They make their in the newer style. Original Botanica, I ordered from them once. I ordered from them once, years and years ago, based on a recommendation, because the place I normally get my stuff from, they were out at the time. And what did I remember? I remember two things. I remember that they had speedy shipping, if I'm not mistaken. They got here relatively quickly, and the plant was still fresh, but it was not as much as I'm accustomed to getting. Um, but it was fine because I was in a pinch, I was in a bind, so I just need to have it on hand, and I got it until my regular supplier came up on stock. But when I go to my regular folks, they they give me a lot. They give me a lot. They give me a lot for a little. So, you know, I'm very much hooked on them. But so that's all that. Well, I can't remember what the plant was. You know, it's just very interesting. It's just very interesting. Now, let me say this. You know, if they are dressing the candle and whatever the case may be, then that's another matter altogether, right? As I said before, when it comes to locally owned businesses, black owned businesses, etc., I know there's some areas I can get something for cheaper. I'm still gonna go there. Now, this is what I tell my students. I've said this to them. This is just the way I do things. If I'm out of something, if I'm out of something, and I know that I can order it online for cheaper and shipping and this and that and the other, or I can go to, a local shop. All right, I'm gonna go to the local shop because I know I can get it right then, right then. I don't work 2 days with Amazon or whatever from some other place. Okay, I'm not gonna buy as much. Okay, so I'm gonna get that, so I have that right there immediately on hand, and then I'm gonna order my other stock from online or whatever. That way, I've settled. I've appeased both of those conflicts, right? I've still put money back into my community, right? And I'm still going to be getting the better price or whatever that I feel comfortable with, but with online. And I'm not going to go in there and be like, because I can't. And me and him talked about this too. That's why we really cannot be on live, because we start talking like root doctors, you know. And one thing he said, and I agree with him, is like, why in the world you're going to come to a business. One thing I've said a lot about the spiritual profession. I've said a lot about spiritual practitioners and things. But one thing you've never heard me say, you won't ever hear me say, I never decry somebody for what they charge, as far as price is concerned. Now, what they do, how they live, whatever, that's a different story. But as far as, what their ticket price is or whatever, I don't care if you may think, or I may think it's astronomical, I may think it's absolutely unfounded. Okay, I'm not gonna put my mouth to that. Right? Number one, because I don't want anybody putting their mouth to me. Right? Because that's just that. All right. Secondly, what's just ridiculous is you go to an establishment or an enterprise, a business, a practitioner, whatever, and instead of you seeing what the prices are, saying, okay, I can't afford that, I don't feel comfortable paying that or whatever, and leaving, you're going to sit there and hassle and harass the proprietor. Well, I can get this cheaper from so and so, wherever. Then by all means, by God, please, please, do us both a favor and go where you are called. Go where you are called. I say this in my class, but I'm very serious about it. This is how I know people are lying to me. So they say things like, "Oh, I know God sent me to you." And then, "Oh, I just know you're a man. I know you're a prophet. I know God sent me to you. I've been dealing with this, and I've been dealing with that, and I've been dealing with the other, and whatever. I just know I had a dream about you. Whatever, some long story. I've been sent to you by God." All right. Who am I to say otherwise? But then I submit you that invoice. You want to rant and rave and holler. You a liar. God ain't sent you. God ain't sent you. Because my prices ain't changed. And the God who gave me my pricing. So I know he ain't sent you. Come on now. I've been in the prophetic ministry long enough. God ain't sent you. That may run through. Oh, I ain't got no comments now. That may run through the wrong way. That's fine. Take it how you want to take it. I'm telling you what I see. Telling you what I see. Because God already knew what my prices were before he sent you to me. You a liar. You ain't got, and this what really gets me. Why you got to lie? Why you got to be like, oh God, like that's gonna somehow impress me or turn my hand in your favor, whatever. You can just say, I saw you online or whatever. Somebody recommended me to you or whatever the case may be. I really think, I enjoy how you work. Whatever. I mean, that just baffles me. People will lie all kinds of stuff. They don't all things lie and say God said, and they ain't gonna come and say, I know you're a prophet, and then lie about what God told you. Like, I'm not gonna check that. Now, do I charge what I'm worth? Hell no, I don't. I don't charge nowhere near what I'm worth. And there are times when I will alter and adjust what my fees are, as I am led by the Spirit to do. And 8 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, the Spirit has already let me know what I'm supposed to be doing, who I'm supposed to be doing it with and for, and what concessions I need to make. You know, um, another thing people don't like is that I do divination on work. I sure do. I sure do. I've been saying this since I was on Periscope. I don't work for people. I don't work for people. Is that you work for me or whatever? I don't work for people. All right, I work with people, but I work for God. God is my employer. The Spirit is my employer. I don't work for people. So, um, you know, and it doesn't matter how simple the work can be. It can be a snap of my finger, but I'm going to go divine and seek the Spirit. Should I put my hand to this work? And they say no, that's it. End of story. End of story. All right. Um, I may recommend you to somebody else. I mean, I have a recommendation for you. Um, I'm gonna be able to advise you on work that you can do yourself to remediate the situation. I may, with proper permission, be able to make something for you. But as far as directly putting my hand to that situation, um, um, no. When they say no, that's it. I may fact check again. They say no second time. That's definitely it. I be one. In some cases, I be like, okay, okay, I can use this. I can use a little come up right about now, right about now. I can use a little come up, but they said no that second time. Whoop. Okay, because I'm a bull, so I've been hard headed. I'm going my own way, and it is written, there is a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And a lot of things have died. A lot of ambitions, a lot of opportunities, a lot of doors, a lot of networks have died because I went my own way. And the Spirit said, no. Job 38:11, hitherto hast thou come, but thou shalt go no further. And I still went further. He said, okay, we're gonna turn you over to your own ways, and the consequences of that. So I learned the hard way. So I tell people, no, I definitely don't mean no harm. I'm not. It has nothing to do with what you're asking me to do. Okay, now some things I tell people flat out. Okay, I don't do that kind of work. That's just period. But It's nothing to do with the kind of work you asked me to do, or who you are and who I am, or how much you're offering. It's all that's irrelevant. All that is secondary and tertiary conversation. So, people say I want to get some work done. I think I'm just going to jump right into it. No, I'm going to divine on number one. Should I put my hand to this, and then if so, how? How are we going to work this? Right. That way, I can tell the client what they can expect, when they can expect it, what things to look out for. Are they going to be getting something from me in the mail? Am I going to be getting something from them in the mail? Is it going to be a jar? Is it going to be a bath? Is it going to be amulets? Is it going to be I think I will have to work in a spiritual pot? Whatever. Candles. The whole shebang. So things like that. All right, things like that. So I'm hoping that you guys are having some type of reflection on the elders that have come before you. This is definitely that time of year where we reflect on those who made it possible. We are on Hallows Eve. The eve is the day before the actual thing, right? People make Halloween the big thing, but it's actually the next day. And if you are of the Christian persuasion, then for us, Halloween or All Hallows Eve is the day before All Saints Day, where we commemorate all of the saints. If you're Catholic, then that would be all of those in the catechism. If you are not Catholic, if you're Protestant or whatever, that would be all of those who died in the faith that year, right? So, and these remembrance traditions are around the world. They're not just here in America, they're around the world, right? They span internationally. So if you're not trick or treating or teasing, some people, they get a little freaky on Halloween. Some of that stuff y'all wearing out trick or treats, but y'all also wearing in the bedroom. Y'all think I don't see. So I got the eye of the cat. See, I see farther than you can. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. That you take time to remember and to honor, to respect, to pay homage to those who came ahead of you, right? We be humble. Be very humble. Humility will take you a very long way. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was telling my friend this also. I said, the honest to God truth is, about 2, 3, 4 years ago. Okay. When I was really coming onto the internet scene, there were a lot of people that I saw that I iconized, right? I respected at a distance. I valued, right? And never thought it would get beyond that, right? Me seeing them be great at a distance, okay? And then God began to move supernaturally, and I began to be ushered into those same circles that they were in, and vice versa, right? Not of any of my own doing. I never reached out to any of these people, right? I never tried to clout chase or be in somebody's DM or whatever they can. I was just being me. Being me. I understand exactly what Kanye was talking about. I understand exactly what Lil Wayne is talking about. Just being you. And one of the key things to remember is your integrity. There are circles that I have been privy to, that I'm in now, and I'm sure that God's going to open up more doors too, that I am in no way qualified to sit and rub shoulders with certain kinds of people. I don't have the credentials. Whether it's skill set, whether it's experience, whether it's education, academia, whatever. But what has been the great equalizer is integrity. That's the honest to God truth. Integrity. Integrity is what you do when you don't think anybody's watching, because there's always somebody watching, right? And it has been time and time people have said you're the same person in person, you're the same person online. I value your integrity. You could have done this, but you didn't. You could have taken that, but you didn't. Whatever. I have people tell me that they tested me. They staged stuff, right, to see what my response was going to be to it. And it wasn't even a second thought. You know, if you're ever get into my apprenticeship program, there are things I tell them. Listen, I don't want to see y'all doing that kind of shit. There's certain practices I see people do, and it's nice. It gets the fanfare. It gets whatever. I said, no, I don't give you a license to do that. That shit is trifling. It's fake. It's phony. It is She put the wealthy away in her wallet. She's been getting small money. Listen, it's going to begin to increase. It's building momentum for you. Do not give up on it. It won't give up on you. I had a lady. I got to post this on. That's another thing. I don't post nearly as many testimonies. This is a lot to do. It's just a lot to do. But I'm gonna put this up on Instagram. The lady said she ordered the wealthy way from me. And later on that day after she had paid, she hadn't even got her product yet, right? I think I sent them out the next day when I sent everything out. She was already getting an uptick in her sales for that day. Then she messaged me last week and said that she got a new car gifted to her. A brand spanking new car gifted to her. She said if I had known this was gonna happen, she said, "Child, I would have bought all of them. I wouldn't let nobody have none. I would have had them all." I mean, she showed me everything. Somebody just came. I had to go back and ask if I can share that particular part of it. But a brand spanking new car, free. Yeah, child. I'm over looking at my little chair. I'm about to start sprinkling her on some stuff. Wealthy way. Start doing me a little car wash. Shucks, a whole brand new one. Man, I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful for my vehicle. She's got me through thick and thin. She's a luxury vehicle. She looks good. She's nice and black, and I love her. I try to take care of as much as I can. But yeah, so wow, an hour's gone already. I wanted to say, so my apprenticeship program is closed for the year, but I will be in Patreon. Have you been looking for, my channel does not feature a lot of spells, a lot of rituals, a lot of formulas, recipes, compounds, etc. Okay, and for good reason. I decided that for me to do that personally, would be pimping my channel. Okay. Because the only reason why I would do that would have been, when I searched my motives, would be to get numbers up. And YouTube isn't really that much of a part of my life to invest in it on that level, to be cutting corners and to be having these type of internal critical questions about my motives. So I said, okay, I'm not. I've got a different agenda, different mission. But those rituals and those quote unquote spells, workings, formulas, or whatever are going to be in Patreon, proportionate to the tier that you join under. We've got a lot of videos in there already. I've got some exclusive content in there. I've got one that's really buzzing right now, is my video I did on how to remove life-threatening witchcraft. I took you behind the scenes. What does Doc do on a regular basis? And in that video, my team has seen it. They can tell you that it is some eerie shit. Okay, that should have been a Halloween trailer video for real. Okay, I show you. You can hear those evil spirits screaming. All right. I had my gospel over here yesterday. I was showing, because he just got back in town, showing him the video. He was over there like, no, listen no more. So you guys beware. It's been on the calls. I had a student tell me, she might be having nightmares. You might need to take a drink for that, but you can hear them screaming right there in video footage. We've got video footage of them trying to escape out of the pot, climbing and scratching and wiggling. Of course, not being able to do that, we had them bound and contained. There's even this part is actually on my Instagram. Video footage, photographed footage of the face of that tormenting spirit, that evil spirit comes, right, very clearly there. There's a couple of different angles there's used. I didn't manipulate anything, okay, whatsoever. So there's gonna be more stuff like that. We're gonna be having some more rituals. I've got I know you guys are really big on candles. That's y'all thing, in this generation. So we're doing some candle rituals there. How to make your own spiritual powder, some sachets. I'm gonna be giving my medicine recipe. Okay, so if y'all thought that's what you're coming for, stay home. You're not getting that. I'm not gonna put myself out of business. No, but I will show you how to make some simple sachets. But most of them are things you can get in probably already in your cupboard or at your grocery store, your health food store. Cosmic is my Instagram. KHOZMIQ is my Instagram. So I've got to get off of here because I'm already at 8%. I'm already at 8%. And I think I'm going to be doing a live on Instagram tonight with Brother Moses. We'll see how that pans out. I can't give any guarantees. The Patreon, very great question. Patreon.com/Cosmic, KHOZMIQ. Hit me up there. We've got tiers for every budget. Okay. Actually, I need to add another tier there. As a matter of fact, I just been a little bit behind, but I'm gonna be dropping some videos over the next. Well, I've got time now, so I'll probably be dropping videos on Wednesdays because I won't be doing class. I'm still trying to figure out how to go live through Patreon, so I really appreciate my patrons who've been very, very supportive and patient in that. As a matter of fact, before I get out of here, I'd be remiss if I did not Moses is good people. Moses is good people. Moses is a good heart. Yeah, and here's the thing. I've got so much stuff to put on Patreon. What I would do is I'd be like, okay, I need to record this, and I have so much stuff recorded, screenshot or whatever. I just haven't put it up yet. It's like, I don't know. It's really crazy. Yeah, that's what they're telling me. My issue with that is the kind of way that I teach and do instruction is very much so like in the field, kind of hands-on, kind of spur of the moment. And it would require me to the most only device I have is my phone. And I can carry my phone wherever. I can carry a tripod with me in the car, no problem. But if you're talking about I have to bring my laptop, because then I have to an assistant. Child, you never lie. I need an assistant. I need a whole. So I'm teaching so much. That way I can have less on me and more on them. Y'all. Like I said, my gosh, I'm over here working. I'm working his pots now. Okay, I'm like, now look here. So this will be your responsibility. But it's all. Well, here's the thing. So, in order to do it the way listed on Patreon, I would have to start a YouTube live stream. Okay. Get the link from that private stream and then put it in Patreon. All right. And then they would come over and see my YouTube video. Now, problem with that is I can't do that from my phone. All right. If I go live on YouTube, then YouTube is live. If I go out of YouTube to go to Patreon, it's going to shut down my live feed. All right. The other option, of course, is my laptop. All right. Problem with that is you're taking a laptop everywhere. You got to worry about battery power. You got to worry about connectivity issues. So I'm trying to um, figure out how to really do that. If I do go that route, it will probably not be as field active. Okay, it'll probably just kind of be like this, which is a little bit of a bummer there. I want to say okay. I'm trying to. Let me do this. Well, basically, I wanted to give a shout out to my patrons, Osunkimi, Manisi, Heather, June, Nick, Jalen, Paul, Armenia, Samuel, RJ, Valerie, Tramise, Nakib, Manika, Taia, Queenie, Dion, Latoya, Issa, Mary, Siobhan, Herschel, Ada, Nina, and everybody else. Okay. I want to say thank you so much. You guys make what I do that much easier. God bless you. All of you listening out, I hope you guys have a safe celebration. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. Remember your ancestors. Remember your elders. In the meantime, in between time, I hold you all in the light of God. That never fails. God bless you all forever.